call the just to report out, school committee had an executive session. Mr. Goho, superintendent, reviewed with us the school safety and emergency plans, and we took a vote on those plans. We are not allowed by law to share those plans with you. Item number 4, approval of minutes. Regular meeting on September 27th.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Questions? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Special meeting on October 11th.
Motion made with appropriate section of Rhode Island state law.
There's a motion. Second. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Motion carries. And executive session on September 27th.
That was the one I meant to approve with appropriate section of Rhode Island state law.
Motion made and second. Any questions? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item number 5, we have no correspondence. Item number 6, public comment. We have one individual who has signed up for public comment. According to our bylaws, the individual, who is Mr. Jeremiah, would like to speak on kids' safety. Mr. Jeremiah, you have 5 minutes, according to our bylaws. Come up to the microphone, please. And just state your name for the record. Wait.
Thank you. John Jeremiah, G-R-E-M-I-A.
Can I go?
Last month at a meeting, I sat and I listened. And there were so many half-truths that I just want to just clear the air on something. After COVID, I was straddled with a couple of guys who didn't want to do anything. One of the guys, there's a safety issue with because he has an anger issue. He knows it himself. In April, I removed my daughter because of it. Okay, I informed everybody who needed to know. The kids called him Mr. Mean. I had kids terrified, telling me to go into the cafeteria because of this man. All right? That upsets me because I love children. Anybody who knows me knows that. I always say what's best for the kids. This went on and on. I'm sorry. Nothing was done. My boss knew about it. He talked to him. This guy also threatened to kill me on three occasions that I have witnesses. It was nothing but harassment that I went through for the last 3 years of this COVID. Don Vickers was of no help. I worked by myself for 3 months in January, the end of January to the end of April, by myself. No coverage, no nothing. Never complained, never did anything. As for the painting assignment, that was maintenance work. That was not my regular job.
Excuse me. You said you wanted to speak about kids' safety.
Oh, I'm so
But-
sorry.
So you need to stay on that topic.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
But if you want to veer off and talk about something else,
No,
you can.
No.
But
Oh, okay.
we're not going to respond to anything that's not on the
that's
agenda.
fine. That's fine.
Okay,
I'm just concerned about the kids. Honestly, when you see kids terrified to go eat lunch, and and it's not like I'm telling anything anybody doesn't know. The kid has a good heart. He really does, but he has anger issues. He knows it himself. He knows it himself. I've seen it. Anybody who's worked there knows it. I don't see what the big deal is. I offered in August of 22, he was giving me trouble. And I offered to drive him to the hospital. I said, take a leave of absence, Joe. You're burnt out. Stop stealing my stuff, throwing away my supplies, and getting in my way. I told both of them that August of 22. So, but the safety issue should be addressed. You have kids terrified to go into the class, and the kitchen people know it. The staff know it. I've seen him abuse temporary secretaries, temp nurses. I've been apologizing for him for about 3 years now, and everybody knows it. It's just sad. That's all. We got to do better. We have to do better. We have 300 kids walking around school like this. I don't have any answers. I got ideas because they're kids. That's what, I was changing diapers at 10 years old. No kids. And it's just something has to be done. Please do something. As for the work, I am disabled now because of working overtime doing maintenance work. But I have things I have to do. But I'll be in touch with you about that. But that's all. Just do something for the kids. That's it. Everybody knows it there. And as for Vickers, he was useless. And he did some things that were very offensive to me. Very offensive. Especially if you have daughters. That's all. Thank you very much.
thank you, sir. Item number 7, consent agenda.
So moved.
There's a motion.
Second.
And a second. Any questions on the consent agenda? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item number 8, superintendent's report. Mr. Goho.
Thank you, Dr. Pilata, members of the committee. So the first item is just simply an update to the committee and to the community because these discussions have begun, and so we want to just make sure that everybody is aware of why these discussions are happening. So as you may know, the high school is being accredited and visited by the New England Association of Schools and Colleges this upcoming school year. And part of the new accreditation standards is what's called the vision of the graduate. And it defines, and the high school has had to define the skills and competencies that they are responsible for in terms of kids being able to know and be able to do as graduates of the high school. Part of that vision of the graduate, which the high school has established, and part of the accreditation standards requires those skills and competencies to be scaffolded throughout the district, K through 8 as well, in addition to the high school. So the central office, Mrs. Seitzinger, myself, Ms. Van Avery, we worked extensively with the elementary and the middle school principals so that they can then take a piece of the vision of the graduate that they can embed and have embedded in their curriculum at the program K through 8. So during those discussions, as the principals were sort of trying to figure out how we can come up with visuals for the vision of the graduate at that level, an ancillary discussion occurred in terms of the fact that we have all different types of mascots and school colors, and it became kind of challenging to figure out for them how to do this in a way that's unified, because the vision has to be unified, and on paper it is, so that's the most important piece. But as I said, out of these discussions came some ancillary conversations about can we have a conversation about unifying the district under one umbrella, even symbolically. So, examples that were provided were Johnston is the Panthers, Burrillville are the Broncos, Smithfield are the Sentinels. But if you look at how we are structured in North Providence, our elementary schools all have different mascots, different colors. We have McGuire, the Mountain Lions. We have the Bumblebees at Centerdale. We have the Sharks at Wayland. We have the Patriots at Stephen Only, the Tigers at Greystone. And then at Birchwood and Ritchie, we have the Eagles and we have the Bobcats. So each school has its own identity, which does have value. So the principals brought this to our attention and said, can we entertain discussions about, maybe bringing increased or greater unity under one umbrella? So we said, certainly, with the Empowerment Act, where all these types of decisions are appropriate to be held at the school level, you're certainly able to have these discussions with your PTO, with your school improvement teams, with your faculties. And so those discussions have been occurring. And so we just wanted to let the community and the school committee know that they are occurring, what the nature of those discussions has been about, what the impetus was. So in terms of where this might go, that's to be determined. That the schools will give us the feedback. It might be something where nothing changes. It might be something where the elementary schools come under a unified umbrella rather than having all of the different mascots and colors that they do have. It's a little bit trickier at the middle school level where you have athletics. That's a piece of that as well. So the principals asked to have these discussions. They are occurring as we speak. So I just wanted to make sure that everybody was aware that they were occurring and why they were occurring. And in terms of the destination and what it might eventually look like, that's again to be determined. It might be small changes. It might be something that's more unified district wide. That may not happen overnight. Might happen in at the time. The other thing that we have going on is we have obviously the reorganization of some of our elementary schools, with Centerdale closing and being folded into a larger school. So this might be something that when the new school is built, that this could be something that occurs. So I just wanted to make sure. There's been a lot of rumors out there that this has to do with athletics or it has to do with, because of the high school. Not at all. We just wanted to make sure that everybody knew and that these discussions are happening and they'll happen from the ground up. They will give us the feedback in terms of what they want to do. And we will go with consensus and move in a direction gradually, maybe in the next year or two in terms of what they would like to see happen. So just wanted to update the committee on that. Next item. I want to thank our athletic director, Mr. Ficcicelli, for bringing forward to us the fact that he has a significant amount of interest at the high school level for students who want to participate in indoor track and field. And so he has made the request of the committee that we add that. These items are unbudgeted, but we do have a significant interest with our kids, and this would be all students at the high school. So I would ask, and obviously you have the memo from Ms. Castanelli and Mr. Ficcicelli, I believe, in your packet explaining this. So I would ask for approval by the committee, not only for the jobs to be added, but for the job descriptions to be approved. So item B, I would request a motion to approve the indoor track and field head coach job description.
Motion made.
Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Next item is for an assistant coach. So I would ask for the indoor track and field assistant coach job description to move forward.
Motion made.
Second.
Any questions?
I do have a quick question.
Mr. De Silva.
It's not about these in particular, but we plan on practicing. Yet to be determined.
Yes, yet to be determined.
Because for a number of years, we used to have kids run with Smithfield.
Yes.
And
Mr. Ficcicelli did tell me, but it escapes me right now.
okay.
So we do have a plan. I know.
I think it's a great idea.
Yep.
As a person who ran indoor and outdoor track in high school 110 years ago. Thank you, Mr. Porter. We're ready to roll.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item D.
Thank you, Mrs. Seitzinger.
Thank you, Mr. Gaho. Good evening, everyone, members of the school committee. Just a few updates. We've been in school a couple of months. It's been a great opening, great beginning. We've been able to visit the schools, participate in learning walks, and really start off in a positive light. So we're very excited about that. And it's been a great start to our new school year. We did submit last time our district learning, distance learning plan update to all of you, which was approved, and it actually was approved by Rhode Island Department of Ed last Friday. So that's been sent to everyone. As far as the principals and schools, it's also posted on the website with the Spanish version as well. So as I mentioned, we started our learning walks across all levels, elementary, middle, and high school. Now is in ELA and math. And we're going to extend that into the science content area as well. And the idea of those learning walks is to support teachers and ultimately students in achievement, finding out what do we need to support our teachers in terms of instruction, what things are going well, et cetera. So those have been very positive as well. Also, the Right to Read Act, which is mandated by the state. We're in really good shape with that. We're, again, training grades 3 and 4 this year in that. So over 70% of our faculty and staff has been trained. And then next year we'll continue and we'll probably do grade 5 and any new teachers that come on board. So we have till 2026 to complete that training as well. In terms of the curriculum, we're starting our curriculum teams. We've already met with ELA and our comprehensive literacy team. I'll be meeting with the math committee tomorrow, and because RICAS data is in, we're going to start to look at item analysis and look at our curriculum and really do our crosswalk. And it's just a great team of people, and having that ability to analyze the data earlier. Last year it came in a little bit later, so it's nice to have it a little bit earlier this year. And then our science committee will meet next week as well, going over our science data and looking at our plan for this year in terms of instructional focus, getting our middle schools to support our elementary, and working with the high school as well. We also had our district pink out day last Friday, and we don't have a total yet, but we'll see if we raised more than we did last year, which was $1,700. So that will go to the Gloria Gemma Breast Cancer Foundation for breast cancer awareness and research. So thank you all for your support of that. And then just some pictures of the last month or so of our meetings and things that we've done, including National Principal of Celebration Month for principals, which we did celebrate and recognize. We want to thank them for all of their hard work.
So thank you. There will be a presentation at the November meeting, as we said, about our RICAS scores, a little bit more of a deeper dive on that data. And there's an article in today's Breeze highlighting the growth that we've seen. So good to have some good news in the Breeze.
The good news, yes, the good news is that we are trending up in a lot of our schools. So that's positive. I'll share that with you in November. So thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Plata. That concludes the superintendent's report.
Thank you, Mrs. Sitsinger. Thank you, Mr. Goho. We have no school committee reports. We have no old business. Item number 11, new business. Item A, I'll address item A and item B. Item A, as you all know, the mayor has a charity party. I believe that's on December 2nd. And requests have gone out to support the charity event by putting an ad in the program booklet. I would suggest or recommend that we put an ad in and that we individually support that. I believe a full page ad is $175. That would require each of us to donate $25. I would like to have the committee consider that.
You need that in the form of a motion, or is that just a, you need that in the form of a motion, or is that just?
We put that in the form of a motion.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any questions? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. I would suggest that you contact Mr. Goho's secretary for your donation. Thank you. Item B, I asked to put this on the agenda. I think it's critically important at this point that we begin to take a hard look at the construction that's going to take place with the new schools and the administration building over the next several months, which will has already effectively started with the administration building. After reviewing the school construction timelines, including the construction of the new Wayland Elementary School and the new Centerdale Greystone Elementary School, and construction of the new administration building, and improvements to the infrastructure to Birchwood, Ritchie, and the high school, I believe we need to free up Mr. Ferroli's time so he can concentrate and work closely with the school construction manager and the construction team. Mr. Ferroli is a vital asset, working closely with the project manager to ensure that the school projects are on time and on budget. The school projects are scheduled to begin concurrently, and Mr. Ferroli needs to be available to assist, direct, and provide needed information if requested by the construction team. Therefore, I am recommending that we hire, effectively January 2024, a part-time facilities support individual to specifically oversee transportation, custodial supervision, use of property requests, and oversight of the crossing guards, and any additional responsibilities deemed necessary by the administration. I would propose the following timeline. At the November school committee meeting, the superintendent will provide for approval by the school committee, part-time job description. School committee would vote on the job description, which would include salary, total hours, overall projected costs, and impact on the budget. If the position is approved by the school committee, the job would be posted and interviews conducted and completed by December. The superintendent would make a recommendation to the school committee at the December meeting with an effective starting date in January. I believe this is a responsible and prudent approach to protect the $125 million school projects while maintaining the important oversight and efficiency regarding transportation, use of property requests, custodial oversight, and crossing guard supervision. I think Mr. Ferroli's responsibilities currently include not only the school district, but also the town. And in order to protect the investment by the taxpayers of $125 million, I believe it would be a responsible decision to have the school department hire a part-time person to oversee the direct responsibilities that I have mentioned, in addition to anything else that the administration might deem necessary. That's a recommendation. I would first open it up for discussion or comments, and then entertain a motion.
Great idea.
No comments or questions? I would entertain a motion.
Made.
There's a motion by Mr. De Silva, seconded by Mr. Corsini. Any additional comments or questions? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you for that. Item C, Mr. Goho.
Thank you. I would request a motion to approve the revised North Providence High School diploma system policy, which is revised in accordance with the new state high school and secondary regulations.
Motion made.
Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item D.
I would request a motion for the approval of the Equity Institute Services Agreement.
Second.
Motion made and second. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Next item, I would request approval of the Client Services Agreement with Solient for speech and language services for our students.
Second.
The motion made and second. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Next item, I would request approval for the rental agreement with the Smithfield YMCA for the temporary home of the North Providence High School swim team for the 2023-2024 school year.
Second.
Any questions? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
I would request approval of the agreement with the Veterans Memorial Auditorium for the North Providence High School graduation ceremony on June 6th, 2024.
So moved.
Questions? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Next item, I would request approval for the North Providence High School class of 2025 senior prom agreement with the Kirkbrae Country Club.
So, second.
Questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Last item, I am requesting approval for the removal of obsolete textbooks from Ritchie Middle School according to the list submitted to the school committee.
Second.
Any questions? Hearing none. All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Mr. Goho. Item number 12, approval of bills.
Second.
Motion made and second. Any questions on the bills?
Quick question. We're paying Chief and First Q1 and Q2, I noticed. I meant to text you that, and I totally spaced it. Oh, I emailed you that.
I believe last month we didn't have the first quarter bill. I think they all came in together because I remember
Did-
asking
yeah, that-
Lori,
that-
yeah.
It says that. So do we know how many students are in it?
I
Off the
can
top,
give
you
you
probably
that.
don't. No, you got it.
I think it's a lot.
Yeah, it's hefty, so. Okay, thank you.
Okay, there's a motion on the floor. Any additional questions? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item number 13, I'm sorry. Item number 13, use of property request.
Second?
Questions? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We have no requests to address the committee. Item 15, we have no pending business. Chair will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Motion made. Oh.
Motion made, second. All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries.